Morning, everybody, or afternoon, whenever you're tuning in. Thank you for coming. Today we're going to do a 9-exercise, 3-round routine. It'll be all body weight, so you'll just need your bad self for today, and we will go through these 3 rounds. If you have time for 1 round, that is fine. If you have time for 2, that is fine as well. Whatever you have time for, the goal here is to move. So you can use this as a movement activity, or you can use this as HIIT training, whatever you need it to be for you. Let's let your body have it. Okay, so if you are recorded or it doesn't exist, go ahead and start your watch. All right, we're going to start with a warm-up, so go ahead and get your legs a little further in hip distance. We're going to turn right and left. Rotate the spine. Get the shoulders activated. Don't forget to turn each one of those ankles each time as well to get activated. All right, next, let's put our fists in front of us. We're going to cross punch just to warm up that upper back. Get some rotation on our spine. Lengthen those arms out. We're just getting ready for exercise here. We're not working out quite yet. All right, a couple more each way. And rest. Okay, let's go ahead and get our legs again a little further in hip distance. We're going to squat down, bring our arms all the way up overhead. Down and all the way up. All right, let's do a couple more of these and we'll get started. All right, excellent. All right, for our first exercise, we're going to be down on the ground. We're going to do a bird dog. If you've never done a bird dog before, we're going to get onto all fours. One arm is going to go forward and the other leg is going to go backward. So we're going to alternate left arm, right leg, and then opposite for the next round. Ready and go. Reach it out, bring it together. Reach it out, bring it together. Each time you do this and you stretch that leg, really engage the glutes. Really squeeze those glutes each time. And again, each one of these exercises is going to be for a minute. We'll have 15-second rest in between each exercise and a minute rest in between each round. Tighten those glutes each time. We got 15 seconds left. And rest. All right, we are back to our feet. What we're going to do next is a wood chop. So you can do this with a little dumbbell, or you can just do this with your hands. We're going to reach it up, chop it down to our knee. Reach it up and chop. Let's just stay on one side for now. I'll tell you to switch when we're about halfway through. All right, switch sides. Try to get those hips and your knees involved. Chop down towards your knee each time. Turn that torso. Working our core a little bit. 5 seconds. And rest. Okay, we're gonna do plank rotations next. So if you're at the point where you're just able to do a plank, that's fine. So we're gonna get into plank position. We can stay in that position, or we can rotate it up. All right, ready and go. Try to keep that body nice and in line. Your shoulders should be in line with whatever part of your body is touching the ground. If you want to just stay in plank for this one, that is perfectly fine as well. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Whew. All right, we're back up to our feet. We're gonna do a standing crab next. So what we do for standing crab is we put our arms out to the side, bring our knee up to our elbows. So we're doing external rotation of that leg. Bring it up to your elbow. So just get that up as high as you can. If you can't quite make it all the way up, that's fine. But try to work on that external rotation of your legs. If you want to make this more intense, you can speed this up with an option of not bringing your leg up as high. So do what you need to do for yourself for today. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, we're gonna do a fight move next. So let's go ahead and get our knees a little bouncy. We're gonna put our fists in front of us and we're gonna jab forward. Jab it forward. So really try to, go ahead and start. Try to concentrate on getting that punch straight ahead. So if you're looking at the screen at this point, get that fist right in between your face and the screen. So your fist is kind of blocking out the screen each time you punch. Extend that arm out all the way. Option to slow it down, option to speed it up. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, for our next exercise, we are going to do basically a two-legged deadlift with a reach. So we're going to hinge at the hips, reach out, and bring it back up. Reach it out, bring it back up. Really stick your butt out there as far as you can. You should really feel that in your hamstrings. If you're not able to do the reach part, that is fine. with an option to put a little hop at the top. So when you go like that, come up, like that, bring it up. Take this where you need to take yourself today. 15 seconds. And rest. All right. So next we got raise the roof. So we use raise the roof for a shoulder endurance exercise. So go ahead and get your legs a little further in hip distance. Let's put our arms up and then we're reaching up into the air. Ready and go. You can do this with a little bit of weight if you want to. You have an option to do that. You can speed it up, slow it down. First 30 seconds aren't too bad. Once you get to 30 seconds, then the shoulder endurance kicks in. All right, you got this. There we go. 15 seconds. And rest. All right, for our next exercise, we're going to do a lateral lunge. So from this position, lunging out to the left and to the right. Ready? And go. So the option here is to not go as deep. Another option is to put a little hop into it. Really work it to get a little more cardio into it. A little bit of mobility. Go, keep it up. All right, 5 seconds. And rest. All right, our last exercise for today is a burpee. So we can do the burpee off of a wall and reach it up. If that's the burpee that you need to do today, then that is fine. All right, ready and go. Another option is to go down, walk it out, walk it in, stand it up. Next option, walk it out, push up. Walk it in, stand it up. Next option, down, push up, in, and jump it up. And our last option, down, jump it back, push up, jump it back, and jump it up. So whatever you need to do today is good. 15 seconds. And rest. All right, 1 minute rest in between sets for today. Go ahead and grab yourself a drink. Make sure that you hydrate. These breaks are always good for us to continue to hydrate. For the most part, we don't get enough hydration, especially when we do exercise. So kind of get that water ready. Grab your drink so you can do a little hydration in between. All right. So you can work on your breath work, lower that heart rate a little bit. Get ready for the next round. We'll start in 10 seconds with the bird dogs. Go ahead and flip it over. Keep that back nice and flat. Ready? And go. Reach it out. Again, make sure you engage the glutes each time you do that. Really tighten those glutes, point those toes down towards the ground. That'll tighten everything up on your posterior chain, so you can get the most out of each one of these bird dogs. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, back up to our feet. We got wood chops next. So we're getting our legs a little further in hip distance. We put our hands together or grab a little dumbbell if you want. If you want to add a little bit extra weight, bring it up, chop it down. Chop it down to that knee. So our goal here is to get a little bit of bend on that knee as we go. Keep it accurate, reach up and down and switch directions. And 15 seconds, you got this. This is round number 2. What you can on this, you can increase the speed if that is an option for you today, if that's available. All right, and rest. All right, next we got plank rotations. So again, if you're unable to get onto the ground, you can do a plank against the wall and rotate that way. All right, the rest of us, let's go ahead and get down. Rotate it up. Bring it down and switch. You got this. Keep it up. "20 seconds. And rest. All right, we are back up to our feet again. Remember, a lot of this is getting up and down off the ground. That's an excellent determination of longevity. How fast can we get up and down off the ground? So let's go ahead and put our arms out, and we are bringing our knee up to our elbows. So a little different than raise the roof. We're getting that external rotation on our legs. All right, you got this. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, next we got jabs. So go ahead and get your legs a little further in hip distance. Let's put our fists right in front of us, and we're gonna jab forward. All right, so use the screen as a target. Get that fist right between your face and the screen and go. Get your hips into it a little bit. Make this a full body movement. If you need to You do have the option of going faster or slower, whatever you need. If you need a mobility, take it a little bit slower. If you want this to be more of a HIIT training, go ahead and go as fast as you can. When you sway side to side, you work that coordination a little bit. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. Next, we're doing with our hamstrings. So remember, we're doing the deadlift movement with the reach. Deadlift movement with the reach, with an option to hop in the middle. So go ahead and hop in the middle if you'd like. If you need something to steady yourself with, go ahead and do that. This is really good for the lower back, for the hamstrings, for the glutes. Really stretch it out there. And again, take that option to hop if you'd like. All right, 10 seconds. And rest. All right, excellent. Next, we got raise the roof. So from this, we're putting our hands up to the side and we're pushing up and start. Again, this is a shoulder endurance exercise. Working those shoulders. We are stressing them out a little bit. You know, the first 30 seconds isn't too bad. The second 30 seconds is where we really work that muscular endurance. All right, 10 seconds. You got this. Whoop, 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 whoop. And rest. All right, for our next exercise, we are doing a lateral lunge. Get as deep as you can on this one. Ready and go. And again, if you need to make this a little bit increased level of difficulty to make this more of a HIIT workout for you, go ahead and put a little hop into it. Move it side to side. Don't forget to smile. All right, we got 15 seconds. And rest. Okay, for our next one, don't forget, for our next one, we are doing a burpee. So you can do the push-up off of a wall and stand it straight up if you need to. So do this burpee or however you need to do that. Ready and go. You can put a push-up into this burpee. Or you can just step it back. Whatever you need to do today to make this work for you. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right. Round 2 is complete. Go ahead and take a rest. If you're sweating, go ahead and dry yourself off a little bit. Work on your breathing a bit, but definitely grab some water. And again, we have 1 minute in between sets here. Let's kind of reset, get ourselves ready. If you only have time for 2, that's fine. You can bail now. If you have time for 1, it's a little late for that if you're already here, but do that. These will be posted on YouTube as well, so if you want to head over there to watch the replay, you can do that. All right. 30 seconds, we're going to get started again for our last round. You got this. Nice deep breaths. All right, let's get into that bird dog position. Ready? And go. Remember for this, when we reach out our leg, really tighten those glutes, point our foot down so you can get the most out of this activity. Point that toe down. Reach it out as far as you can. And rest. All right, we're back up to our feet for some wood chops. Again, we're rounding this up. This is our last round. Hands together or hold on to a little weight. Ready? And reach it up. Chop it down to that knee. And switch. Give rotation on that spine. So try to look 90 degrees off to the right or left, whichever the highway is. And turn. We're trying to work our core a little bit here. 15 seconds. And rest. All right, we got our side plank next. So for side plank, you can go onto the ground or you can go off the wall, whatever you need to do to make this happen for yourself. All right, ready? And rotate. Bring it up. Keep that body in a nice straight line. All right, you got this. 20 seconds. And rest. All right, back up to our feet. We have the standing crab next. Now we're working on that external rotation of our legs. So we're putting our hands up to the side and rotating it up. Ready and go. If you need an option for this, go ahead and hold on to something while you're doing that external rotation with your legs. If your balance is a little challenging, go ahead and do it that way. You can also speed this up so you can get more out of it if you're working on some cardio for today. Right, you got this. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right, our fight move is next. So get those legs a little further in hip distance. Let's get our fists up in front of us and we're punching forward. So when you do this, make a target between your eyeballs and the screen so you're a little more accurate, and go. All right, 20 seconds. And rest. All right, we got our deadlifts with the reach. So again, plant our legs, come into the deadlift position and reach it out. You should feel in your hamstrings, in your glutes, in your lower back, all of those places. Ready and go. Again, you have an option of putting a little hop up at the top if you need to make this more of a HIIT exercise for yourself. All right, 10 seconds. This is a really good exercise if you sit a lot during the day to get that posterior chain activated, and rest. All right, getting down to the end here. We're going to raise the roof. This is our shoulder endurance exercise. Ready and go. And again, those first 30 seconds are pretty easy. Then that's where the endurance kicks in. "20 seconds. You got this. Keep it up. I know your arms are getting tired. And rest. All right, 2 more exercises to go. We got our lateral lunges next. You should be able to get a little deeper this time. Your body should be more warmed up. Ready, and go. And again, you can put a little hop into it if you need to. All right, 15 seconds. And rest. All right, all we got left is our burpees. So, wall burpees, table burpees, whatever kind of burpees you need to do for yourself today, no problem. That's what we're doing. Ready? And go. All right, 20 seconds, and we'll stretch it out. And rest. Whew. Those burpee finishers are tough. All right, go ahead and grab yourself a drink if you need one. We're going to stretch it out a little bit here. We're going to interlock our fingers and stretch it straight up. Get a nice long stretch line from your wrists all the way to your knees. All right, bring it over to one side. Really stretch the side of your body. Nice and long. All right, let's go down the other side. All right, so put your hands on your hips. Let's roll out your hips. It's important for this one that you go super slow. We want to concentrate on lengthening those leg muscles as we go around. Just keep it nice and slow. All right, switch directions. All right, let's take our arm, bring it across your body and hold. Open up those fingers nice and wide. All right, let's switch it up. Hold it with the other arm. Really stretch that upper back. All right. So go ahead and hold on to something. Let's didn't really do much ankle mobility, so let's go ahead and roll out your ankle. All right, let's roll out the other ankle. All right, and that's that. Thank you so much for coming today. I really appreciate it. You can catch me on YouTube and some of the other social media platforms. Go ahead and hit the button down at the bottom if you'd like to see this content when it comes out. This is Coach Steve signing off. Let's go.